details.
Plus, in an exclusive interview with WCNC Charlotte, Mayor Vi Lyles now revealing the threats she received following the death of Irina Zarutska.
Well, it's been a tough year. I'm not going to say that it's been an easy one.
What she says represented the lowest point of her term and the steps CMPD took to protect her.
With 10 homicides in Center City this year, the Mecklenburg County District Attorney says they're cracking down on crimes by repeat offenders.
It's all alarming. It definitely deters you from wanting to go out.
How new state laws give prosecutors stronger tools to keep you safe.
And you've probably heard that wet hair and cold weather can make you sick.
But is there any truth to that old wives' tale? We'll verify. Those stories and much more live, local, and breaking news coming up at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus.
All right, let's get going, you guys. We are still seeing snow-covered roads out there in the mountains. Keep this in mind for that morning commute. Just drive a little slower, as we could still see some slick and icy spots. It's a different story a little closer to Charlotte, though. Still following this crash here, Eastway Drive at Curtis Wood Drive. Seeing a lot of green there, so not too concerned about it. And then this one here also not quite cleared. Sharon Ave both ways at Brookwood Road. Keep it in mind as you're heading out the door, but most of those impacts up in the mountains. Chris.
Okay, let's do one last look at our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. We are cooler than yesterday, 49 degrees. We got sunshine across the board. Enjoy it. Lower 50s followed by 60 degrees. And then a big cool down, potentially some of the coldest air of the year on Monday, but a nice rebound quickly by Wednesday.
All right, with that forecast in mind, we're asking you all morning long, are you team go outside or are you team stay inside this winter? Text us 704-329-3600. We can tell you so far one team is leading by a lot. We'll talk more about it coming up on WCNC Plus.
Join us there.
Streaming live right now at 7 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington.
Heads up for all of our folks up in the high country. In the last hour, we've gotten an update here. A number of school districts making adjustments to their schedule. Originally, it was just a delay. And now we can tell you, Avery, Watauga, Ashe County schools will operate under remote learning this morning.
That's right. And our team is here to get you ready for this cool Thursday morning. We can start things off with Chris to find out more about our forecast. My goodness, look at that behind you.
Yeah, this is on top of Beach Mountain. They're actively making some snow right now, and we have some near whiteout conditions. We've had a lot of wind gusts. The peak wind gust that I saw reported in the mountains was 49 miles per hour. That was overnight last night. Here are multiple different spots. Things much better here in downtown Boone. Look at that. That is the power of a treated road right there compared to ones that aren't so treated, like say over here in Banner Elk. And then Blowing Rock, this road not as heavily traveled, and then of course the snow blowing all over the place around Beach Mountain. But yeah, this is going to be the case and scenario for this morning. I think it's a good idea that those schools decide to go remote because we have a lot of those slick spots on top of already some ice that was lingering around. But oh, really look at this. This is a good example. Look at that flag blowing in the breeze. So it's not just snow, it's blowing snow. Sugar Mountain, I don't know what happened right here, but we're just going to move on. That almost looks like a video game that went corrupt. Our satellite and radar showing that we do have the last breath of this snow, and I turned on what I call our enhanced snowfall. So what this does is it's a different color key that really focuses in on what's accumulating, what's not. So anything in the white, so that's around Banner Elk. This one right here around Blowing Rock shows that this type of snow is the ones that can also provide a dusting of snow. The gray is more of just like you're seeing the flurries, but it's not really going to amount to too much. That's what we're mainly seeing from Avery over into Burke County. Just letting you know that this is a sign that snow is weakening. So I think we only have about another hour or so of our accumulation chance. And then by about 10 o'clock, I think the flurries are out of here. That's also when our winter weather advisory is expiring. Moving in the opposite direction over here in the Sandhills, Anson and around the Lowellsville area. Look at that, not a cloud in the sky. That's what you can expect for the entirety of today. Oh, I love a wall-to-wall sunshine day. 49 degrees though, it will be a colder one. But if you look at it, it's actually better than yesterday. Yesterday, we got up to 57, that's great. But the winds made it feel a whole lot cooler. The winds actually get lighter as we work our way through today, only around 7 miles per hour by 4 p.m. You're still gonna feel wind chilly from time to time, but things are definitely getting a lot better. And then our futurecast showing clear skies throughout the Charlotte area. It's not really until later on this evening that we start to see more clouds move back in, mainly north of I-40. As for the mountains, if you're watching there, you are expecting clouds for the first half of the day, and then it will get much sunnier by the afternoon. But we have another burst of snow on the way. Check it out. We could see this really through the overnight, just around the I-40 corridor as far south as Salisbury. That's quickly in, and that's quickly out of here. So enjoy the day today. Enjoy the sunshine. Coming up, I'm going to put my weather bookmark right here. I'm going to talk more about the weekend. I want to spend more time on it because we have one day that stands out from all the rest. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's Saturday. Sunday, we have some big time changes and maybe some of the coldest air of the year, not just the season. More on that coming up, but also more on our traffic starting off here on WCNC Plus. Good morning.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. Well, things are looking okay around the Charlotte metro area. Again, the greatest impacts when we're looking at the area roadways, of course, will be up in the mountains where we're dealing with some snow, some wind, some fog, freezing temperatures. You can see what area roadways look like. This is out there in Boone, so plows have been trying to go through, and we're not working with a lot of snow, but still be ready for those slick and icy spots, especially over bridges, on ramps, off ramps, even some areas waking up to that fog. Once we bring it back to Charlotte, no snow here, but once we head just to the east of town, we're looking at this crash here. It's on Albemarle Road westbound at Blair Road, and we're seeing stop and go traffic with this. So still learning more about that once you're actually approaching 485. And then this crash is also new. It's on David Cox Road, both ways again at Statesville Road, seeing a little bit of yellow, but at least we're not seeing red at this time. And then finally, this has been ongoing for a while at this point, about 45 minutes. Eastway Drive, a crash here at Curtis Wood Drive. We'll keep you up to date with the very latest, giving you some updates when I see you here soon.
Majestic, thanks. 7:04 now. Several breaking news updates this morning. We're going to start in Northeast Charlotte, where CMPD says the homicide it's investigating on Reagan Drive was a stabbing.
Our crew was there last night gathering information, and police tell us it happened near the Days Inn, right near West Sugar Creek Road. Police say they were called to the scene just before 5 for an assault with a deadly weapon, and when they got there, they found a man seriously injured. He later died at the hospital. Right now, police are asking for more information from the public.
During the time of day, you're looking at rush hour traffic and people moving back and forth in the evening hours. So yes, there would be a good potential of folks that would actually been in the area to actually experience or see, witness what was going on, and those are the people that we need to come forward.
At this time, a suspect is yet to be identified. If you have any information about the case, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers.
Another breaking news update this morning in Gaston County, where a woman is facing second-degree murder charges. Court records show 38-year-old Ebony Johnson exposed another person to carfentanil. That's a synthetic form of fentanyl, causing that person's death. Johnson was arrested Wednesday for the offense that happened back in July. She's being held at the Gaston County Jail without bond.
Now to a developing story this morning. We are learning that the person injured in Friday night's light rail stabbing is now waking up in jail this morning after a separate incident back in October.
WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards is live this morning in Uptown to break down the charges he's facing. Destiny.
Yeah, 24-year-old Kenyon Doby, who is just in the hospital after last week's light rail stabbing. He's facing multiple charges in a Mecklenburg County courtroom this morning. Now, court and jail records show Doby was taken into custody just after 10:30 last night. He faces charges from an incident in October, including assault on a pregnant woman, domestic violence, and 3 counts of communicating threats, plus an updated warrant listing a felony charge for serious bodily injury. According to the warrant, a female victim was punched in the face and suffered a facial fracture. Now, these charges are completely unrelated to the light rail stabbing, where Doby was the victim after intervening in self-defense. He described the attack in a TikTok live stream, saying he's been dealing with blood in his lungs from the injury. The community has rallied around him with a GoFundMe nearing $100,000 as of this morning. Now, Doby remains in jail this morning ahead of his first appearance in court. That's at 9 this morning. We'll be sure to bring you the latest over on WCNC Charlotte later today. I'll send it back to you guys live here from Uptown.
Destiny, thanks so much for that live report. Now, today's hearing comes as CATS is offering new information about security on the train at the time of Friday's stabbing on the light rail.
Up to this point, we've been asking if security guards were on the train since CATS says it stepped up patrols in the last few months.
Now, CATS says security personnel were dispersed throughout the entire system, though security personnel were not in this train car at the time of the incident. The agency adds security personnel do not ride each train car and each bus around the clock throughout each shift. CATS says that approach is not a best practice and no major transit agency in the country operates that way.
CATS released a full document outlining some of the ongoing safety and security efforts happening across the system 24/7. You can take a look at those documents right now inside the WCNC Charlotte mobile app.
Despite CATS' comments about its concerns with putting an officer on each train, local GOP leaders say they want to see this and they want the open train platforms closed. They're also criticizing Charlotte City Council for approving a multi-million-dollar PR campaign encouraging folks to ride public transit. Republican leaders say that money should have been spent on safety after this latest light rail stabbing and the stabbing death of Irina Zarutska in August. Some council members say they need to improve public safety in 2 ways.
One is perception and one is reality. We got to ensure that we address the reality head on, and that will help with perception.
City Council approved $3.4 million for that light rail PR campaign. Happening today, the man accused of killing Irina Zarutska on the light rail in August is set to appear in federal court for the first time. DeCarlos Brown was indicted by a grand jury in October, charged with violence against a railroad carrier and mass transportation system resulting in death. Today's hearing begins at 10:30 this morning.
As of today, there have been 10 homicides in Center City this year compared to just 4 last year. And that is why Mecklenburg County's top prosecutor says that addressing violent crime specifically by repeat offenders is a top priority. CMPD's new chief said violent crime in Charlotte's Central Division increased by about 15% this year. And the recent crime in Uptown has a lot of folks concerned about their safety.
There has been some instances where you kind of definitely question what's going on and how safe it really is.
The district attorney, Spencer Merriweather, you see right there, says his office has prosecutors specifically assigned to focus on repeat offenders in Uptown. Operation Safe Season, which we told you about last week, went into effect Friday night. It remains the focus of law enforcement's heightened efforts to crack down on crime in Uptown. 7:10 right now. The Trump administration ramping up military activity in the Caribbean. What could this latest move mean for tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela? $7:12 right now on WCNC Plus. The Trump administration stepping up military activity in the Caribbean. On Wednesday, U.S. agencies seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela, accused of helping fund terrorist groups. NBC's Alice Barr has reactions from leaders in both countries.
This morning, tensions with Venezuela sharply escalating, with the Venezuelan government accusing the U.S. of, quote, a blatant theft and an act of international piracy over this moment when elite Coast Guard forces, according to two U.S. officials, rappel out of helicopters onto a massive oil tanker off Venezuela, executing what Attorney General Pam Bondi called a seizure warrant.
We've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, large tanker, very large.
The Attorney General saying the tanker was transporting sanctioned oil from Venezuela and Iran, part of a, quote, illicit oil shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations.
It was seized for a very good reason.
It's unclear where the oil on board was headed or what happens to it next.
Well, we keep it, I guess.
The Venezuelan government now claiming President Trump's ramped-up pressure campaign against authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro is about the country's rich oil reserves instead of drug trafficking. The Trump administration has been striking alleged drug boats off the Venezuelan coast and threatening to move on land, accusing Maduro of being tied to a drug trade that steals American lives, and putting out a $50 million reward for information leading to his capture. Maduro denies the allegations, and while he says his country is ready to fight, at a Wednesday rally he addressed Americans who don't want war.
Don't worry, be happy.
All as President Trump suggested Colombia may be next in his fight against the drug trade. The House has now passed a $900 billion defense bill that includes added provisions about Venezuela, giving Congress more oversight on military action and cutting the defense secretary's travel budget unless he gives Congress unedited videos of the strikes on alleged drug boats. The Senate is also expected to approve the bill. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Approaching 7:15 now, the Trump administration is facing a lawsuit over plans to put the president's face on national park passes. The Interior Department recently unveiled new commemorative designs, including one with Trump alongside George Washington. The Center for Biological Diversity filed a lawsuit to block the change set for January. They argue federal law requires the past to feature the winning photo from a national contest. The Interior Department has not commented on the lawsuit. A task force created by President Trump is calling for the biggest overhaul of FEMA in decades. A new report recommends cutting the agency's workforce in half and moving many of the employees out of Washington. That plan would shift more responsibility for disaster relief onto the states and raise the bar for qualifying for federal aid. FEMA would not be eliminated, but rebranded as FEMA 2.0. The council is expected to vote on the recommendations today before sending them to the president.
7:15 right now. This morning we've been asking you, are you team go outside or are you team stay inside when it comes to some of this winter weather? Here's some of your responses up next. Officials advising about 100,000 people to evacuate certain parts of Washington state. An atmospheric river is causing heavy rainfall, flooding, and mudslides.
The governor says he declared a state of emergency since some rivers could reach historic levels. Take a look at video showing water rescues in several areas. In south central Washington, officials say at least 2 major mudslides have blocked parts of a major highway. And in northwest Washington, volunteers are shoring up an old dike system along a river. Chris joins us now, and again, we've been hearing about this for quite some time now. Just a lot of rainfall there.
Yeah, and it's still continuing. That's the worst part of this, because look, it's just a constant conveyor belt. This is that atmospheric river that you were just mentioning. And I think it was a couple of months ago that we were saying the same thing for California, with that they were looking at a lot of mudslides and rain. Well, it's the exact same thing. It's just that Majestic is more of the Washington expert than I am, and saying that it's at least once a year that they have some sort of setup like this, especially in the northwestern side of the state. Check out this little rain total over the last 24 hours. Small town named Everson, close to about 5 to 6 inches of rain fell there. And then some outside totals also looking about 6.5 inches right here around Lyman. Bellingham, one of the more populated areas. Again, I got all this from Majestic. I've learned a lot about Washington over the last 2 minutes, is a popular place that is near the Canadian border. They've seen about 2 inches there, but it's really some of those isolated spots that are all over the place. Now, our dry conditions will continue for the Charlotte area. An isolated rain chance is possible on Sunday, and then there is also the outside chance tonight, mainly north of I-40, that we could have a quick sprinkle or even a burst of a snow flurry, depending where you are. Sunrise time today officially at 7:22 on this December 11th. Look at that. Our sunrise cameras are absolutely gorgeous. This is nice. This is the best looking morning that we've had and one of the best looking days because we're not looking at a cloud in the sky across much of the area. So enjoy that. 49 degrees is 8 degrees cooler than yesterday. But if you factor in a lighter wind, it almost is kind of splitting the difference, especially with the power of that sunshine. So definitely enjoy it. Temperatures reaching the upper 40s, and then we'll start to see a warm up by tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think we start off a little bit chillier, down to the lower to the mid 30s, dealing with a few more clouds to start off the day, and then we should have a nice sunny end to it, but we're back into the lower 50s. And for the weekend, I have to make my point here. If you have any outdoor plans, this is your day, because you might look at it, 48 degrees, that's not too bad. 48 is going to be the high in the morning. That means likely throughout the afternoon, temperatures are getting cool each hour, that there's some indications, now this is still a little bit further out, that we could even be down to around the freezing point to start off the evening, that I think each hour gets colder, and it's also going to be breezy as well, that realistically during your Sunday afternoon, you could have wind chills in the 30s, even dropping down into the 20s at times with a slight chance for rain. So yeah, bank everything on Saturday, and that transition is going to lead to some much cooler air. Here's what's happening. We have a couple of fronts that move through. This is it. This is a big old Canadian high that's going to move in, really an Arctic high pressure system. It's going to allow the coldest air of the year. That's right. Now, this could still fluctuate, but close enough, honestly. Our forecast low on Monday is now 16 degrees. The coldest we've been in 2025 was 18 degrees back on January 22nd. We were 19th on the 23rd. And then again on February 21st, we were 19 degrees. So this will actually only be the 4th time this year that we've dropped down into the teens. Astronomically cold. We have not had this in about a year. Jerry Hunt's Supercenter 7-day forecast does show some warmer hope, though. 60 degrees for my pick of the week on Saturday, as I just mentioned, and we should be back around that range again next Wednesday. So, all right. Majestic, anything we need to know about your morning commute?
Well, I wanted to talk about some of those drive times. We'll start out with this time. If you're coming in from Salisbury into Charlotte, it'll take you around 55 minutes. If you're coming in from Waxhaw this morning, good morning, about 40 minutes to get you into the uptown area. This is I-77 and 277. It's a beautiful start to the day. Definitely chilly, though. Not seeing any weather impacts out on those area roadways here in the city, but once we head up to the mountains, we're still really watching those area roadways. Freezing temperatures, slick and icy spots, especially on those back roads, those parking lots, sidewalks. Make sure you're being careful there. Those plows have been trying to remove a lot of the snow from the main roads, but of course it's kind of hard to keep up with everything because there's still a lot of coverage to be seen. You can see here in Blowing Rock, it is also still a little bit windy out there, so blowing snow as you're heading out the door. Still some wrecks to let you know about a little closer to Charlotte. This one here, it's on Albemarle Road, westbound at Blair Road to Rocky River Church. So you can see the red, that stop and go traffic right there. Once we're heading up to the north, this one not cleared yet. It's at David Cox Road, both ways at Old Statesville Road, and then to the south here, Eastway Drive at Curtis Wood Drive. Also seeing minor delays there. Bottom line, none of these are very impactful. I mean, it might slow you down just a couple of minutes, but as of now, we don't have any significant delays on I-77 or I-85. Guys.
Only a few days left in our magical toy drive. A big thank you to all of you who have donated so far. We certainly appreciate your generosity. And there is still time for you to show your support if you'd like. All you have to do is take any new unwrapped toy to any Charlotte area Belk location between now and Sunday. For more ways to donate, scan that QR code there on the right side of your screen. A study from Talker Research says most Americans are ready to hibernate this winter.
It finds 2/3 of us would rather hide out all winter long, sort of like a bear does, than go outside. And that's not all. 86% of us, that's a bunch of us, are fully embracing what's called hygge. That's a Danish word for getting as cozy as possible. The average person will spend about 56 days of the next 90 just being cozy. Top cozy moves: curling up on the couch, piling on the blankets, sleeping in, hot coffee or cocoa, And yes, canceling perfectly good plans because you are way too comfortable to move off that couch. Preferably with a nice little snuggle muffin pooch right next to you or cat.
Oh, I didn't know where you were going with that.
That too.
Choose your snuggle muffin.
That's right. The big question, do you like to go out and enjoy the outdoors right now, or do you like to stay inside?
All right, so we asked you earlier this morning, are you team bundle up or are you team go out? So you go outside, stay inside. Let's see what you guys say. Team
I
stay
thought so.
inside. That's the thing. It's so cold. Who's going to say no to getting on your couch, with your thick socks on,
Oh,
a couple
yes.
blankets,
There you go.
a good book,
A movie.
It's cozy.
a movie?
It's cozy. I really am stuck on like the balance. I need fresh air. I need a little sunshine.
Agree.
It's
I
fine
actually
if
agree
it's
with you.
cold. Bundle
Yes.
up. You would expect nothing less than go inside and stay cozy.
Well, for your serotonin, doctors say 15 minutes of sunshine is all you need. So just
There
get
you
that
go.
50 minutes.
Okay.
Done.
Yeah. Boom.
Done and done.
Low bar.
The sunshine helps though when you have to be out. I gotta
It does.
say that.
Yeah.
Take a look
Just
at
like
this. This is
today.
actually really pretty. Sun coming up over the Queen City.
Very pretty.
Keep it right here on WCNC Plus. Stay inside with us.
Well, good morning, everyone. Check it out. Our Boone camera showing that those roads have been treated here, but many roads still have snow covering across the area. Up to an inch plus of snow fell across Watauga, Avery, and Ashe County. Now we're seeing the last breath of this snow. I think the flurry is going to be done over the next hour or so. Our sunrise camera is looking great. Officially, we are now 5 minutes past that sunrise time, but wall-to-wall sunshine expected for today. Not a cloud in the sky, and the winds are a lot lighter. It's also colder, though. Average should be about 56. We're at 49, but that sunshine is going to make things so much better. And oh yeah, the winds are a lot lighter as well. Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast shows a nice little warm up on the up and up to 60 degrees. Now what goes up, you know the rest of the saying, goes down. 37 on Monday, starting off around 16, but hey, back to around 60 degrees Wednesday. Majestic, it's snowy in the mountains, but also we need to know.
Well, we've been watching those snowplows just like this in Banner Elk. They are out trying to clear those roads. Make sure you get them lots of space so that they can help to keep us nice and safe. We are seeing those weathery impacts up in the mountains. Not seeing any of that here in Charlotte. It's going to be beautiful. Drive times this morning, if you're coming in from Waxhaw, it'll take you around 40 minutes. If you're coming in from Matthews, just under 30.
You are streaming live on WCNC Plus at 7:30. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. This morning we're getting some new answers about Friday's light rail stabbing, including how that suspect, Oscar Solorzano, was able to get on board even though, as we were told, he was supposedly banned from the system. CATS issuing a statement saying the ban is essentially just a legal order and there's no physical barrier to stop banned riders from getting on a train. Basically, there's no enforcement mechanism. The agency added it's difficult to block specific individuals because there are no gates or checkpoints on the light rail. We also asked when the surveillance video from the incident will be released. Officials say they cannot right now because the investigation is still ongoing. And for the first time, we are hearing about the threats Mayor Vi Lyle says she faced after the death of Irina Zarutska on the light rail back in August and the steps CMPD took to protect the mayor. In an exclusive interview, she told me it represented the lowest point of her term and a reckoning for city leaders. Charlotte ends 2025 focused on the issue that shaped this city this year, safety on public transit.
What has this year been like for you personally?
Oh, it's been a tough year. I'm not going to say that it's been an easy one.
The murder of Ukrainian immigrant Irina Zarutska on the light rail in August shook this city. Video of the crime went viral, giving Charlotte something it's not used to: negative national media attention.
When you look at us, you think, well, everything is going okay. But honestly, we have to recognize that sometimes there is not good coming.
National Republicans and conservative influencers put the blame squarely on the mayor for being soft on crime. The criticism often overestimated her role. Charlotte's mayor is technically a part-time position with no executive powers. Still, Lyles became the face of the city's failure. For the first time in her career, she was briefed on threat assessments regarding her safety.
I have been grateful that our chief of police said, you know, let's take some time, let's pause. Why don't you stay home for a bit until we can make sure that it's safe for you.
Months later, the security concerns remain.
Do you have armed security still?
I would say that CMPD follows what I do and makes it sure that when we're doing this, that they understand where I am and what I'm doing.
After last Friday's attack on the Blue Line, city leaders have more work to do. The mayor says public safety is the #1 priority as we look to 2026.
Charlotte is a place that's going to be safe. It's going to be a place where people can live together and not have to have things like concerns about threat assessments.
Ben Thompson, WCNC Charlotte.
It's now been 1 week since the disappearance of a missing Charlotte mother. Now CMPD is releasing new photos showing her last known location and the car she was driving. Officers say 31-year-old Frasia Baker was last seen at a mobile gas station on LaSalle Street last Thursday. She was driving a gray 2004 Honda Accord and wearing a black long-sleeve shirt with panthers across the chest. Baker's family says they are extremely concerned for her well-being.
We fled passing flyers. We are going all the dead-end streets. You know, a place that you would think that they will hide the car. You know, so we ain't stopping.
If you see Frasia Baker or you know where she is, call 911 immediately. This morning, we're hearing from the lawyer of the student now taking CMS to court. The family says the district violated her free speech and religious rights after her tribute to conservative activist Charlie Kirk on Ardrey Kell High School's Spirit Rock was removed.
School officials are willing to privately acknowledge that our client didn't do anything wrong. They're willing to privately acknowledge that they gave her permission to paint the Spirit Rock, but publicly they won't do anything. And now they've adopted new policies that try to ban religious speech from a forum open to students, the Spirit Rock. And that's simply unacceptable.
The family hopes the case will spark lasting changes in CMS policy. We reached out to the district about the lawsuit and were told they don't comment on active litigation.
We're getting a look at new video of 2 young men accused of firing shots inside East Ridge Mall last week. Gastonia police tell us the men were asked to leave Hibbett Sports and were being escorted out when one, perhaps two of them, both of them, shot inside the mall and ran off. We got some surveillance video you see right here. If you happen to recognize either one of these people, you're asked to call Gastonia police immediately. All right, 7:35 right now here on WCNC Plus. Turning back over to Chris with a look at your weather impact forecast.
Hey, thanks a lot, Ben. Well, here are our wind gusts yesterday. So I want to go to the past, we'll go to the present, and then eventually, of course, the future, and that's why I'm here. And 16 mile per hour was the peak around Morganton. Elsewhere, pretty much the entire area had at least a gust to about 30 miles per hour. 30 to 35 was the main range around the Charlotte area. Boy, could you feel it. I remember I went into a building and the door literally blew out of my hand. So yeah, some really gusty winds. So far today, not the case, except for the mountains. The mountains have had gusts as high as 40 miles per hour. The biggest peak that I saw was about 49 miles per hour. That's not great, especially because you have that active snow, but we still have some on and off gusts to about 25 miles per hour. I'm not cutting off the winds yet. We are still going to have a breezy day today for the first half, but then once you get to about 10 o'clock, that's when that winter weather advisory expires, by the way. That's where we're starting to simmer things down, and then eventually it gets a lot calmer. By the way, I say simmer a lot more since majestic. I picked up that word. I love that word now. Well, as we are working our way over the next few days, one thing that has changed, it's only slightly, the new now next, the newest thing is that Sunday and Monday are actually trending a little bit cooler. And the now, we are looking at calm winds, beautiful sunny skies. Look at that off in the distance. So this is what today is going to look like, wall-to-wall sunshine. And today we have highs around 50 degrees, but we're going to be warming up to around 60 degrees before you know it. So enjoy it. So we already rose up the sun. That officially was at 7:22, and highs only reaching the upper 40s, but pretty much from noon until 5 o'clock. So for the afternoon, we have the mid to the upper 40s. Sunshine makes everything better. It makes you feel at least 10 degrees warmer, and with the wind starting to fade off, that's going to help, but you're still going to have an occasional gust, making you feel a little bit wind chilly on and off throughout the day. Here's Beach Mountain. There is whiteout conditions on top here. Those are still those gusts that are up to about 40 miles per hour. So it's still not a great situation. I think that's actually probably part of the reason why you had multiple school districts across Avery, Watauga, and Ashe County cancel because of the winds and the blowing snow. Now, Boone right now looks to be the best roads because that's where things have been treated the most, but Majestic has been seeing all morning long really a lot of active plows as we continue across the area. Sugar Mountain is still sleeping in. That camera's done. And our satellite and radar is just picking up on a little leftover snow. The area of white that you're seeing here, this is our enhanced snowfall, shows the last breath of any accumulation. This area in gray is mainly you're just seeing the snowflakes. So I think we're now starting to hit the point, especially during the 8 to 10 o'clock hour as we're starting to wind down that winter weather advisory, that the snowflakes are almost done. But there is a chance for a second coming of a little bit of snow later on. Check this out. This is mainly north of I-40, but we have a little burst later on this evening. Oh, there it is. Here, I'll even slow this down for you. It's so quick. So watch. This is 10, 11, midnight. There is a chance as far south that we could have a little sprinkle action, a little bit of light rain. So it'll be very brief. Most of us will be sleeping at that point. And then we start to see a little bit of a change over to, wintry mix. Maybe some see snowflakes if you're up late around Salisbury to about the I-40 corridor. And by about 4 o'clock, it is now getting out of here. A 7-day forecast, wrapping this up for you. We are looking at a nice little warm up heading into the weekend. 40 degrees to, we were about the lower 40s earlier this week. Now we're going to be jumping up to 60 degrees on Saturday, but then a big cool down. Coming up, I'm going to talk a little bit more about Monday, how it could potentially bring some of the coldest temperatures we've had so far, not just the season, this year. That's right. Okay, so that's it for weather. Now let's get over to how weather is affecting traffic.
Roads aren't looking that great. Taking a live camera look, this is Blowing Rock, where yes, plows have tried to just sweep some of the snow off the roads, but you can see it's actually kind of built over the last couple of hours, and so it's actually pretty icy out there. Make sure you're slowing it down if you are traveling this morning, because this is the main road right there in Blowing Rock. So if the main road looks like this, you could probably imagine those secondary roads also aren't looking the best. Limited visibility, again, you can hardly see out there in Beach Mountain. So if you're traveling in the mountains, especially higher up in elevation, that's where it is going to be difficult to see at times, because you still have that snow falling and you have the wind that is blowing out there. We're not seeing any concerns here in the Queen City. This is I-77 at 277 overlooking beautiful uptown. It's going to be a gorgeous day today. Chilly this morning though. If you are heading out the door this morning, if you're coming in from Salisbury, it's going to take you about an hour to get into Charlotte, and you can still see a handful of ongoing wrecks. This one is just outside of 485, and it's going to be right there on Albemarle Road. Westbound lanes are being impacted at Blair Road to Rocky River Church Road. So stop and go traffic. That backup won't take it too long to get past, though. And then this here, David Cox Road, both directions being impacted by this crash at Statesville Road. So again, we do have our handful of ongoing wrecks in and around the Charlotte metro area, but at this time I'm not seeing anything significantly delaying your morning commute if you take I-77 or I-85.
Majestic thanks. A North Carolina woman makes a shocking discovery when leaving her house one morning to head to work. Hear who was inside her car. An Edenton woman's morning routine took a surprising and scary turn.
She left the house for work, headed to her car, and that's when she found a man police were looking for in her back seat. Will Thomas explains what happened next.
I kept backing up, little by little by little, because I thought, I don't know what this man is going to do.
Marie Steinberg knew that an inmate had escaped from the Chowan County Detention Center Sunday night, but she never expected to find him inside her car as she was leaving the house to go to work Monday morning.
I headed out the door and I clicked the unlock, and it must have scared the guy, because the next thing I know, I saw something moving in my back seat.
Marie says she was just yards away from 23-year-old Charles Edward Babb, who the Edenton Police Department warned was considered potentially armed and dangerous, when she says he jumped out of her car. She stayed calm and began to talk to him.
He looked so cold and so scared, I thought, well, I'm not going to try and provoke him. I'm going to try and be very, very nice and pull the mother act on him, like I would with my own kids.
Marie says she offered to go grab Babb a coat, but just moments later he took off down the driveway. That's when she ran back inside the home, called up to her husband Bob, and they called 911.
I got in as fast as I could. I was shaking like a leaf and I could barely get the key in the lock, but I did.
There seemed to be a little bit of tension and alarm in her voice, and so I said, "What's going on? What is it?" She said, there's somebody in my car, and I think it's the guy that escaped last night because he had a jumpsuit on, an orange jumpsuit.
The Edenton Police Department captured Babb shortly after nearby. All that was left behind were his shoes. Marie's husband Bob, who served in the State General Assembly, can't say enough about how his wife handled the situation.
And I was very proud of my wife. I mean, the way she handled it, as I'm hearing about this now from her and others that she really did a great job.
The Steinbergs are thankful that the situation turned out like it did for everyone involved.
Someone else said to me, I thought this was very interesting, they had mentioned that, well, God must have been watching over Marie yesterday. And I said, you know, I said, you're absolutely right. God was watching over Marie yesterday, but you know something? I think God was watching out over this young man as well, to have him come here.
And from now on, Marie will be making sure to lock her car.
Oh, let me tell you, if I don't, he's gonna. So it's one of those things that we learned.
Will Thomas with that report. Governor Josh Stein honored North Carolina's Christmas tree farmers last night at the governor's mansion. He welcomed winners of the 2025 Growers Contest and members of the state's Christmas Tree Association. Farmers are still recovering from storm damage caused by Hurricane Helene last year, which wiped out thousands of trees and equipment.
When our farmers succeed, we all succeed. So I pledge to keep partnering with you and advocating for you. So on behalf of the state of North Carolina, it is my distinct honor to receive these Christmas trees, which are now adorned with ornaments representing all 100 North Carolina counties.
Despite the setbacks, growers say the industry is strong this holiday season, with younger generations showing renewed interest in real trees. The governor's mansion will be open to the public through Saturday for holiday decorations.
Starting to get down to the wire at this point. If you need to send your Christmas gifts, you've got less than a week of shopping left. The Postal Service says you need to send packages by next Wednesday to get them delivered before the holiday. If you want to spend a bit extra, paying for Priority Mail will get you until next Thursday. Priority Mail Express gets you until next Saturday. But keep in mind, these are just estimates. Also allow an extra day or two for items going outside the continental U.S. You also pay a lot more. The year-end holiday travel period expected to set a new record this year. AAA projecting more than 122 million of us will travel at least 50 miles from home from December 20th through the end of the year. This year's travel forecast on track to surpass the 2024 record by nearly 3 million. AAA says Orlando is the top domestic end-of-year holiday travel destination. A lot of folks want to go to the amusement parks there. Cancun topping the international list.
Today is December 11th, but it's also National Have a Bagel Day, also National Stretching Day, and International Mountains Day, where we just appreciate the mountains and how important they are. Maybe you can do all three. As my director, Rusty, was just saying, maybe you can go stretch with a bagel on top of a mountain. It's going to be snowy, though. 49 degrees around the Charlotte area with lots of sunshine, starting at 42 around at 10 a.m., getting close to 50 degrees during the afternoon. Coming up, we'll be talking about winter weather for the mountains, but also a 60-degree high, not once, but twice on that 7-day. See you soon. Good morning, welcome back. Thanks as always for joining us here on WCNC Plus Snow and Wind. That's the main reason why we have about another 2 hours left of this winter weather advisory. So this is for the North Carolina mountains and also certain parts of Tennessee as well, up into Virginia. Visibility remains low depending where you are, and just not a great drive whatsoever. Things getting a little bit better depending where you are. Snow almost fully cut off right here around Boone. I still think a passing flurry is going to be a possibility. Over here in Banner Elk at Lee's McRae College, all is well. Still a nice fresh blanket of snow, especially on the rooftops, but seeing just a few snowflakes coming down. Top of High Brighton Mountain, check this out. Look really closely. See those snowflakes cruising by? But they're heading this way. They're horizontals because of those winds. Still gusting up to about 40 miles per hour. So we are looking at a lighter wind day, but it's going to take a little bit for us to calm things down really through the course of this morning overall. And our morning lows going forward are going to be perfect for snow formation. So skiers rejoice. But I have to mention where our lows are going. So I'm going to mention a little bit more about what we can expect here in the Charlotte area. But which one of these don't go together? 22, 28, 22, 3. Talking about 3 degrees in Watauga County for our morning low on Monday. What gives? This will be the coldest day, not of the season, but of the year, the way things are shaping up 29 on Wednesday and then back above freezing on Thursday. That is substantial. So for our mountain forecast, we're looking at a big cool down. But it looks like it could be even colder on Sunday and actually starts to warm up a little bit more on Monday. That we're looking at an astronomical cool down. So I want to show you our 10-day forecast to really put into perspective where we're going. So this forecast first starts off with the 7-day forecast brought to us by the Jerry Hunt Super Center. Watch what happens as we work our way through the weekend. We're 60 degrees on Saturday. By the way, if you have any weekend plans, Saturday is your day. Sunday is not going to be great on paper or really in person. We start off in the 40s. So this is a big perspective here. Notice the low, 45. Notice the high, 48. That realistically, our low on Sunday is going to be hit at midnight heading into Monday. And I think it could be down in the 20s at that point. That's why we're dropping down to 16 degrees. 16 degrees, by the way, would be the coldest temperature so far Charlotte has recorded in 2025. Luckily, this is only one day. It doesn't last long. And then we're back up to around 60 degrees on Wednesday. Following Thursday, could see some rain, but still lower 60s. So here's the warmer hope. We actually have 3 days in a row in that 10-day forecast, either side of 60 degrees. So luckily that Monday terror down to 37 and 16 is just a one-day event. Thank goodness Majestic, so definitely cold.
Most definitely. We'll have to be ready for that. But I say just avoid looking at Monday and enjoy the nice weather before then. If you're heading out the door this morning, we're still keeping a close eye on those impacts out on those area roadways. It's in the mountains that we're seeing that snow-covered roads still for some, but it's still very cold out there. So it is icy. That's out there in Banner Elk where you can see those snowplows trying to clear some of those roads. It is cold out there, so bundle on up. If you live in the mountains, you're going to also need to allow for extra time to brush the snow off your car and probably scrape those windows. This morning, though, here in Charlotte, it is beautiful. Very slow moving, though, right there on I-77. Drive times, if you're coming in on Salisbury, from Salisbury to Charlotte, it's going to take you right around an hour and around 30 minutes or so if you're coming in from Matthews. Here's my map. A few things to let you know about. This crash here has red with it. That's important to keep in mind. That means cars are at a stop and go this morning. Albemarle Road at Blair Road, that's westbound, so heading towards Charlotte. And then once we head up to the north, this accident has just been cleared, no longer a problem there on David Cox Road. Guys.
Only a few days left, folks, of our magical toy drive. A big thanks to everybody who's contributed so far. But you know what? If you haven't, no biggie. There's still time. Bring any new unwrapped toy to a Charlotte area Belk location between now and Sunday. It gives you plenty of time. For other ways you can donate, scan that QR code on your screen.
All right, folks, Ginger the Elf is back. She's been hanging out in our live Impact News Center this morning. Of course, Ginger joins us every morning here on WCNC Plus, as well as on WCNC Charlotte. She spreads holiday cheer, and sometimes she gets into a little mischief, like right now. I don't know if she knows that she shouldn't be pressing any of those buttons. Be careful, Ginge. All right, she's with us as we count down to Christmas. We know she has lots of friends out there. You've sent us pictures of your elves. Please keep sending them All you have to do is text us to that number on your screen, 704-329-3600. We'd love to see your elves and hear about what they're getting into.
All right, 7:55 right now on WCNC Plus. Keep it right here.
Good morning, good morning. So we still have a winter weather advisory for the mountains. Only some flurries remain, so we're almost done, but a little burst of light snow still happening right around Boone. So we'll still keep our snow chances around for about another couple of hours, and then things will wind down, thank goodness. Beach Mountain, you can't really even see on top of the mountain. A lot of blowing snow happening with some gusts as high as 40 miles per hour. So this is what it looks like on top of the mountain. Things will improve throughout the day. Highs just below freezing for you up in the high country, and then we have a nice little warm up heading into Saturday. And speaking of, today is going to be a little bit cooler, which, by the way, for national days, it's National Bagel Day, National Have a Bagel Day. Enjoy that. Also National Stretching Day, so you can do that afterwards. Jerry Hunt Super Center 7-day forecast is a nice little warm up, back to 60 degrees on Saturday. Big cool down, though, on Monday. Highs below 40, even starting in the teens. Majestic, what do we need to know about your morning commute?
Good morning, everyone. It's 7:56. If you're getting ready to head out the door, still seeing those wintry impacts up there in the mountains. We have snow-covered roads, slick and icy spots for some. That wind is making it feel so cold out there, and limited visibility for some. Meanwhile, in the Queen City, we are looking at sunny skies. Still grab that layer as you're heading out for the morning commute. Following this crash right here, it's a new one on Honeywood Ave, both ways at Brookshire Boulevard.
streaming live right now at 8 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington.
For folks up in the high country, maybe you already know this, but we've had a number of school districts there make adjustments to their schedule today. Avery, Watauga, Ashe County schools all learning remotely today.
Our team standing by to get you ready. Majestic, of course, is going to have a check on the roads, but we start things off with more on our forecast. And meteorologist Chris Mulcahy and Atzinki were showing us some whiteout conditions earlier up in the high country.
Oh, yeah, you can't even see on top of Beach Mountain right now. And the winds are much stronger up there, of course, but we've even seen some gusts as high as 40 miles per hour around the Boone area, which is a much lower elevation. Snow and wind, that has been the main situation here with our winter weather advisory. This could go on for 2 more hours. Still think we can keep flurries around for about another 2 or 3, but we're almost done. We had some spots of white here. That's representing more of a snow that could accumulate. All this is just general flurries, and that's part of Caldwell, Burke over to Avery and Ashe, and barely a flurry right now over in Ashe County. And it is going to be a interesting situation up there over the next few hours, but things will get a lot better and even the sunshine before you know it. Here's Beach Mountain, even though the camera froze on me because it is freezing up here. Earlier, you couldn't even see in front of you, so things have come down a little bit, but those winds will get lighter and lighter as we work our way through the day. This camera's frozen and out of commission as well. And, oh, so is Banner Elk. Okay, so like pretty much over 3 cameras. All right, at least the ones a little bit closer to Charlotte doing okay. We'll let the mountains do their thing. All you need to know is that we have some snowy conditions. Sometimes Majestic's computer works better for those cameras, so we'll wait on her. But Monroe, Lake Norman, Charlotte, and over to the Dallas area, you have beautiful Carolina blues. That's pretty much what you can expect for the entirety of today. We're calling today a wall-to-wall sunshine scenario, so enjoy it. High temperatures right around 50 degrees. Mid to the upper 40s. And as we continue through the day, the only thing that really changes is, besides our usual warm up that we see, the winds get lighter each hour and even turning calm by this evening, but still could be wind chilly at times, on and off, bursts of the wind gusts still up to about 15 miles per hour for the early afternoon. There's one chance for rain for the Charlotte area, and that is on Sunday as our next system is going to approach. Meanwhile, in the near term, by about 11 o'clock, I think we are flurry-free, snowflake-free for the mountains, even seeing sunshine by the afternoon. But here's 3 o'clock. Pretty much all of us dealing with nothing but sunshine. Great news there. Much cooler, though, compared to yesterday. And then the clouds are going to increase later on this evening, even a chance for a little bit of snow. It's called another dusting to coating of snow possible right along the Tennessee border up in the high country again through the early morning hours. That should be cut off by the time the sun rises up. And then we start to see a return of the sunshine, and then we're sunny for most of your Saturday as well. Our surface map, here is what's coming next. Here's the rain that we're looking at on Sunday. So it's going to be very close to seeing this or not, but it's this guy right here. That's an Arctic high pressure system that digs in. Look at that deep purple that swings in, creating some of the coldest air that we have seen in about a year, since last January. So if I were to have my pick of the weekend, it's definitely Saturday, because Sunday, you are going to see a change hour by hour, getting colder throughout the day. More on that coming up, as well as how cold we're about to get. I'll see you soon, as well as your 7-day forecast. But first, let's get over to Majestic. Are your cameras working?
I hope so.
Oh, that looks great.
At least this one is. So
I want it to be like that.
We'll start with this. It is blustery out there. I mean, we have snow on the ground, snow kind of still blowing with that wind. The wind is slowly but surely starting to die down, but you can tell it is still breezy out there and blowing rock. And like we always mention, it's already cold enough. Once you add just a little wind on top of it, maybe you head out to your car because you got places to be and things to do. That wind, it kind of hurts, but it definitely helps to wake you up. So we're still seeing those snowy conditions there at Blowing Rock and Boone, but we've seen a lot of plows actually try to clear the area roadways. This is Beach Mountain. You can hardly see the roads. You can hardly see anything because visibility, it is significantly reduced out there. We have the snow, we have the clouds, we have that blowing snow that also doesn't help things out there, and it's a very similar setup there in Banner Elk. So if you're in the mountains, if you live in the mountains, hopefully you know how it goes. Drive for the conditions. Not everyone will have those slick and dicey spots, but surely they are out there, especially over bridges or those side roads that haven't really been treated much. Right now, though, here in the Queen City, it is gorgeous. Look at that, plenty of sunshine. Traffic is starting to really pick up. It's 8:04 right now, so really in the thick of things. Still following this crash here. It's a crash on Honeywood Ave. It's impacting both directions at Brookshire Boulevard. You can see that orange seems like it's a little worse if you're coming toward Charlotte. And then this one here, also still seeing red with it, Albemarle Road at Rocky River Church Road. And then finally, want to give you an update on I-77 out towards Lake Norman. Just our typical slowdowns, but no crashes to report for now.
Majestic, thanks. 8:05 now. We have several breaking news updates this morning, starting in Northeast Charlotte, where CMPD says the homicide it's investigating on Reagan Drive was a stabbing.
Our crew was there last night gathering information, and police tell us it happened near the Days Inn right here near West Sugar Creek Road. Police say they were called to the scene just before 5 for an assault with a deadly weapon. When they arrived, they found a man seriously hurt, and that man died then at the hospital. Right now, police asking for more information from possible eyewitnesses.
During the time of day, you're looking at rush hour traffic and people moving back and forth in the evening hours. So yes, there would be a good potential of folks that would actually been in the area to actually experience or see, witness what was going on, and those are the people that we need to come forward.
Morning, a suspect has not been identified. If you have any information about the case, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers.
Another breaking news update this morning in Gaston County, where a woman is facing second-degree murder charges. Court records show 38-year-old Ebony Johnson exposed another person to carfentanil. That's a synthetic form of fentanyl, causing that person's death. Johnson was arrested Wednesday for the offense. It happened back in July. She's being held at the Gaston County Jail without bond.
Now to a developing story this morning. We are learning that the person injured in Friday night's light rail stabbing is now waking up this morning in jail related to an unrelated incident back in October.
WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards is live this morning in Uptown, breaking down the charges he's facing. Destiny.
24-year-old Kenyon Doby, who was just hospitalized after last week's light rail stabbing, is now facing multiple charges of his own in a Mecklenburg County courtroom in just under an hour. Now, according to court and jail records, Doby was taken into custody just after 10:30 last night. He faces charges from an incident in October, including assault on a pregnant woman, domestic violence, and 3 counts of communicating threats, plus an updated warrant listing a felony charge for serious bodily injury. According to the warrant, a female victim was punched in the face and suffered a facial fracture. These charges are completely unrelated to the light rail stabbing, where Doby was the victim after intervening in self-defense. He described the attack in a TikTok live stream, saying he's been dealing with blood in his lungs from the injury. The community has rallied around him with a GoFundMe nearing $100,000 as of this morning. Now, Doby remains in jail, and again, in under an hour now, he will be in court for his first appearance. That's at 9 a.m. We'll be sure to bring you the latest from that on WCNC Plus and WCNC Charlotte. I'll send it back to you guys live here from Uptown.
All right, Destiny, thanks so much for that live report. We should say today's hearing comes as CATS is offering new information about security on the train at the time of Friday's stabbing on the light rail.
Up to this point, this has been a big question that we've been asking, if security guards were there on the train, since CATS says it stepped up patrols in the last few months.
CAT says security personnel were dispersed throughout the entire system, though security personnel were not in this train car at the time of the incident. The agency adds security personnel do not ride each train car and each bus around the clock throughout each shift. CAT says that approach is not a best practice, and no major transit agency in the country operates that way.
CATS released a full document outlining some of those ongoing safety and security efforts happening across the system. We have a look at those documents if you want to see them for yourself right now inside the WCNC Charlotte mobile app.
Despite CAT's comments about its concerns with putting an officer on each train, local GOP leaders say they want to see this, and they want the open train platforms closed. They're also criticizing Charlotte City Council for approving a multi-million-dollar PR campaign encouraging folks to ride public transit. Republican leaders say that money should have been spent on safety after this latest light rail stabbing and the stabbing death of Irina Zarutska in August. Some council members say they need to improve public safety in 2 ways.
One is perception and one is reality. We got to ensure that we address the reality head on, and that will help with perception.
City Council approved $3.4 million for that light rail PR campaign. Happening today, the man accused of killing Irina Zarutska on the light rail in August is set to appear in federal court for the first time. DeCarlos Brown was indicted by a grand jury in October, charged with violence against a railroad carrier and mass transportation system resulting in death. Today's hearing begins at 10:30 this morning. Before we head to break, here is an exclusive shopping deal for our viewers.
Hey, our team tests products every day. We only bring you the winners, and this one is super important because it's about protecting your private information. I have spent years reporting on this and teaching you how to protect yourself, and this product really helps you do that. It's called the ID Defender Premium Stamp Roller Kit, and what it does is it uses patented technology to mask your address. So you can roll through and look, I'm comfortable holding this private information up because you cannot see past it when you use it. Did you know, I just printed out this fake document, when you use a Sharpie on something to cross out your name, your address, all that, a scammer can literally hold it up to the light and actually still be able to read it, but not with this. You roll it through like that, done. You hold this up, a scammer cannot get that information, and you get a 3-pack of these, okay? You get 1,600 uses, which is pretty incredible, and I'm just gonna show you some other documents too. A personal check, Florida vehicle identification card. Again, very comfortable showing you all this because this stuff works and I want you to use it because it does protect yourself. Normally this is $47.97 for a 3-pack kit. Today, a deal, $24.97. One of our biggest deals to date, 48% off. I urge you to go get it. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to shoptvdeals.com.
Well, this morning, a Davidson family is sharing how 6 little words changed their son's life. 13-year-old Paxton Pope lives with a rare genetic disorder. It's caused relentless seizures and held him back from the things he loves.
When a potentially life-changing medication was denied twice by insurance, his parents felt out of options until they discovered a little-known protection that every family should know about. NBC's Vicki Wynn shows how it helped Paxton get the treatment he desperately needed.
Paxton Pope loves Carolina football, bird watching.
What is that?
An osprey.
And Pokemon.
Who do you play Pokemon with?
My sisters.
But the 13-year-old in Davidson, North Carolina has struggled with his favorite hobbies suffering developmental delays and as many as 12 seizures an hour. Finally, last year, diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder called SLC6A1.
What does it feel like when you're having a seizure?
Terrible.
We truly felt like he was slipping out of our hands.
His parents, Maggie and Grayson, learned from an online support group that a drug called Ravicti could help. Prescribed by their doctor, the drug's list price is nearly $800,000 a year. Twice, their insurance denied coverage, saying clinical studies have not proven that this drug is safe and effective for treatment of your child's condition.
Every time I saw a seizure, a little piece of my heart would break. It's debilitating to watch someone you love come in and out of cognition and reality.
Did the anger grow when you learned there was a medication that could help him and that you were being denied access to it?
Yes. To know that there's something out there that can help and then to not be able to get it, it can make you frustrated for sure.
But the Popes found a Hail Mary at the bottom of their second denial letter. 6 words that changed everything. You can have an external review.
The Popes had never heard of this process, and a recent survey shows most Americans haven't. But it's a consumer protection under the Affordable Care Act that says you can take your case to an independent review organization at no cost to you. Then a medical expert not employed by the insurance company makes a final decision.
You'd be surprised how much help you can get from a Department of Insurance.
North Carolina's Commissioner of Insurance, Mike Causey, says 282 cases have undergone a review this year through the state's Smart NC program. More than half resulted in denials being overturned.
Why doesn't the insurance just cover what it's supposed to?
I think one of the reasons is the tremendous amount of insurance fraud. So the companies have to be, very cautious, but at the same time they make mistakes.
For the Popes, the external review found Ravicti was proven safe and effective for Paxton's underlying disease.
Relief and validation were the first things that came to mind, along with some of the disbelief that it actually worked, that it was overturned.
You ready?
Yeah.
After 2 months on the meds, Paxton's parents say his seizures went from more than 100 a day to about 8. This year, for the first time, he was able to play on the school football team. And while they'll never know the identity of the doctor who reviewed their case, they are deeply grateful.
I would get up and give him a really big Southern girl hug. You saw the person behind all of the data, and you gave him a chance.
It's a nice throw, buddy.
That could be a game changer for so many families out there. Just those 6 little words that we all now know about. Great reporting there. Governor Stein has announced North Carolina is set to restore Medicaid provider rates to September levels. The change follows lawsuits challenging the cuts, with courts ruling in favor of 2 patients so far. It comes as the General Assembly has yet to allocate additional funding for the program, leading to a shortfall.
What was incredibly frustrating was that both chambers in the legislature agreed that more funding was necessary. They even agreed on the amount of money that was necessary. But they failed to act in August. They failed to act in September. They failed to act in October. And they failed to act in November.
Stein Wars resources could run out by spring. Medicaid serves more than 3 million people here in North Carolina. The U.S. may be ending the year with a second surge of measles cases. New CDC data shows 84 cases reported nationwide last week, the highest weekly total since April. An outbreak in South Carolina is fueling the rise, with more than 100 cases reported there since October, mostly among unvaccinated people. Overall, the U.S. has seen more than 1,900 measles cases this year. If the outbreak continues into January, the country could lose its elimination status.
Starbucks is serving up its most viral custom drinks of 2025. You might just find your favorite next.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on WCNC Plus. What about our rain chances going forward? Now, we're just talking about the Charlotte area here now. This is a 20% chance for rain on your Sunday, and then we have another better chance. That looks to be Wednesday night, heading into next Thursday, which, by the way, next Thursday officially is a week before Christmas. Wow. And we're actually trending towards a warm-up. So maybe you want the cooler weather for Christmas. That's actually not going to happen. But I want to show you what's happening this weekend, because this weekend is great for shopping. There's a lot of events going on, a lot of different outdoor events, especially pertaining to the seasonal Christmas holiday. But I'm letting you know that Saturday is fine. Once you get to Sunday, we have some nearby rain as this system is passing through. And then I think that we're going to see a significant cool down heading into Monday as soon as that front starts to pass. So what this means is that Sunday is going to be the transitional day. So starting on Saturday at around 10 p.m., we see signs of rain down towards the south. I think at most it's just Chester County that's going to get nipped by this. We'll have a better idea in our futurecast by tomorrow. But Saturday is the day that separates itself. 60 degrees on Saturday. Notice this temperature. If it's not overcast and there's only a difference of 3 degrees, that shows that temperature is going to cool down. We will likely hit our high in the morning, our low around midnight heading into Monday, and that's going to allow temperatures to cool down to 16 degrees on Monday morning, only a high of 37. 16, by the way, would be the coldest low that we've had so far in 2025. Yikes. Okay, it's traffic time. Weather's done.
All right, let's get to it. Want to let you know about this. This is a new thing. It's a stalled vehicle here. Providence Road, both ways at Cherokee Road. You can see that yellow starting to build there, meaning that there will be some impacts as you're slowed down just a little bit, but at least it's not a wreck. Another live camera. It's gorgeous outside. So one of those mornings where you want your heavy jacket, but maybe some sunglasses so that sun doesn't get into your eyes too much as you're making that morning commute. This is another problematic area where we do have some delays that are building. Brookshire Boulevard, both directions right here at Honeywood Ave because of this active crash there. You can see the more colors, the worse the situation likely is. And then finally, just outside of 485 on the eastern half of Uptown, this is Albemarle Road, westbound at Blair Road, where this is still not cleared.
Majestic, thanks.
Only a few days left in our magical toy drive. A big thank you to all of you who have already donated. And there is still time left for you to show your support. Just bring any new unwrapped toy to any Charlotte area Belk between now and Sunday. For more information on other ways for you to donate, scan that QR code there on the right side of your screen. Starbucks has revealed its most viral custom drinks of the year, and you might want to try one of these.
There's the Dubai chocolate-inspired matcha latte, which includes pistachio sauce and chocolate cream cold foam. A cotton candy-inspired frappuccino, which is a vanilla bean cream frappe with raspberry syrup. Another favorite was the pink drink with pearls, where the strawberry pieces are replaced with vanilla sweet cream cold foam and raspberry pearls. Now, before you go burden your poor barista at a local Starbucks, just FYI, some of the flavors have seasonal ingredients that might not be available right now.
What?
Pearls? I know. I think.
And here's the thing: they are very restricted about what's in season when those seasons end.
True.
So might not be able to get all of those.
I always get confused about like the secret menus because some people love Starbucks and their menus, their order is already like all over the place, and then there's a whole different menu that's like the secret menu.
If you know, you know.
Some of those are.
That's what those are. Yeah.
I haven't tried any of them. Have you?
Yeah.
How do you find out the secret?
Got to bring in the
You got to know the right people.
I don't know any.
And we just told you three of them, Chris.
Just helped you out.
I was distracted by the amount of pearls that you named.
Chris doesn't even like coffee, and he's
what else do you
acting
want
so
from us?
defeated.
No, I am defeated because it sounded like a different coffee language you were just thinking.
True.
JavaScript.
It's the secret.
Well,
Just stick with the basics.
Tell me the secrets.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but keep it right here on WC. I mean, where else are you going to get this information,
There you
right?
go.
Turn us on, leave us on all day. We'll be right back.
Where would you rather be? We have 18 degrees here in the mountains, looking like this here around App Ski Mountain, and 39 degrees with sunshine. That is through our Dallas camera. So what a difference, right? And that snow's winding down, but still going to be blowing around for the next few hours. Beautiful shot here in Rock Hill. Lots of sunshine, up to 39 degrees, keeping that sunshine around. It's cloudy in Boone, but we are expecting those clouds to break for you in the mountains as well. Only a high of 31, though, with that snow-cooled air. Mid to the upper 40s elsewhere. This is about an 8-degree downturn compared to what we had yesterday, but it's less windy, and we have that sunshine all day long, so enjoy it. A few more clouds for your Friday. Pick of the week is this Saturday. 60 degrees of sunshine, cooling down throughout the day on Sunday, leading to one of our coldest days this season and the coldest low of the year on Monday morning. Yikes. All right, Majestic, what's going on?
Good morning, everyone. Well, we're still seeing those impacts up in the mountains, still focusing on that on WCNC Plus. Still seeing that snow that's kind of blowing around, slick into icy spots up there this morning, and it is cold. Meanwhile, here around Charlotte, it is beautiful. Traffic is definitely a little busy. If you're coming in from Charlotte, it's going to take you around 25 minutes from Belmont into Charlotte. More on WCNC Plus.
You are streaming live on WCNC Plus. The time is 8:30. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. This morning, we are getting some new answers about Friday's light rail stabbing, including how that suspect, Oscar Solorzano, was able to get on board, even though supposedly he'd been banned. Katz released in a statement saying the ban is essentially just a legal order and there's no physical barrier to actually stop banned riders from getting on the train. The agency added, it's difficult to block specific individuals because there's no gates or checkpoints. We also been asked about when surveillance video from that incident might be released so we get a better idea of exactly what happened. Officials say as of right now they can't release it because the investigation is still underway. And for the first time, we're hearing about the threats Mayor Vi Lyles says she faced after the death of Irina Zarutska on the light rail in August and the steps CMPD took to protect the mayor. In an exclusive interview, she told me it represented the lowest point of her term and a reckoning for city leaders.
Charlotte ends 2025 focused on the issue that shaped this city this year, safety on public transit.
What has this year been like for you personally?
Oh, it's been a tough year. I'm not going to say that it's been an easy one.
The murder of Ukrainian immigrant Irina Zarutska on the light rail in August shook this city. Video of the crime went viral, giving Charlotte something it's not used to. Negative national media attention.
When you look at us, you think, well, everything is going okay. But honestly, we have to recognize that sometimes there is not good coming.
National Republicans and conservative influencers put the blame squarely on the mayor for being soft on crime. The criticism often overestimated her role. Charlotte's mayor is technically a part-time position with no executive powers. Still, Lyles became the face of the city's failure. For the first time in her career, she was briefed on threat assessments regarding her safety.
I have been grateful that our chief of police said, you know, let's take some time, let's pause. Why don't you stay home for a bit until we can make sure that it's safe for you.
Months later, the security concerns remain.
Do you have armed security still?
I would say that CMPD follows what I do and makes it sure that when we're doing this, that they understand where I am and what I'm doing.
After last Friday's attack on the Blue Line, city leaders have more work to do. The mayor says public safety is the #1 priority as we look to 2026.
Charlotte is a place that's going to be safe. It's going to be a place where people can live together and not have to have things like concerns about threat assessments.
Ben Thompson, WCNC Charlotte.
It's now been 1 week since the disappearance of a missing Charlotte mother. Now CMPD is releasing new photos showing her last known location and the car she was driving. Officers say 31-year-old Frasia Baker was last seen at a mobile gas station on LaSalle Street last Thursday. She was driving a gray 2004 Honda Accord and wearing a black long-sleeve shirt with panthers across the chest. Baker's family says they are extremely concerned for her well-being.
We fled passing flyers. We are going all the dead-end streets. You know, a place that you would think that they will hide the car. You know, so we ain't stopping.
If you see Frasia Baker or you know where she is, call 911 immediately. This morning, we are hearing from the lawyer of the student now taking CMS to court. The family says the district violated her free speech and religious rights after her tribute to conservative activist Charlie Kirk on Ardrey Kell High School's Spirit Rock was removed.
School officials are willing to privately acknowledge that our client didn't do anything wrong. They're willing to privately acknowledge that they gave her permission to paint the Spirit Rock. But publicly, they won't do anything. And now they've adopted new policies that try to ban religious speech from a forum open to the students, the Spirit Rock. And that's simply unacceptable.
The family hopes the case will spark lasting changes in CMS policy. We reached out to the district about this lawsuit and we're told they don't comment on active litigation.
We're getting a look at new video of 2 young men accused of firing shots inside Eastridge Mall last week. Gastonia police tell us that the men were asked to leave Hibbett Sports and were being escorted out when one, perhaps both of them, fired 2 shots inside the mall and ran off. You see that surveillance video there. If you happen to recognize either one, call Gastonia PD immediately. All right, approaching 8:35 right now. Chris standing by with a look at your forecast.
Check it out. We don't have much going on our satellite and radar. There's still some flurries that are flying here. Sometimes you're not always going to see it on our satellite and radar imagery, but the areas of blue all currently under that winter weather advisory for 2 more hours. Just be advised, mainly for blowing snow. App Ski Mountain, check it out. I was just seeing a snowboarder that was here. Just a few flurries that are flying for the time being. Meanwhile, on top of Beach Mountain, not great. The chairlifts are actively going, so it's still going to be open, but those winds are starting to calm down, especially once they get down below the 40 and 30 mile per hour range. This will be a very active day. And just wet roads, because it's been treated here at King Street, looking absolutely great compared to what we had just a little bit ago. And of course, some of those sidewalk plows are out and about. So just 2 more hours of that winter weather advisory. I think the biggest issue is going to be some blowing snow. And that's one of the main reasons why that everyone in Watauga, Ash, and Avery are going remote instead of actually going to school. Our Carolina Camera Network, Mr. Sparky Carolina Camera Network, everything is showing blue sky across the horizon. Now, far off in the distance, pointing towards the mountains, you can see some of those clouds. Those are going to fade out, but this is pretty much how today is going to look. Beautiful Carolina blues, and it's always a little bit darker blue during the winter time because it is just a bright setup and it allows the bluer radiation, or blues to radiate, not radiation, a little bit more otherwise in the summertime because sometimes times when you have that colder air, the light is going to refract a little bit deeper into the blue. Now, our 49-degree point is cold compared to what we had yesterday. Yesterday, 57 degrees was our high. Today is about an 8-degree turn down, but we don't have the winds we had yesterday, and we have sunshine all day long, so it actually might even feel a little bit better, but on and off you will feel a little bit wind chilly. An isolated rain chance is possible on Sunday. It doesn't look to be absolute, so most of the next 7 days are trending dry. In the near term, though, we'll get rid of the clouds for the mountains. We will have another quick little burst, I would really say late evening to the early morning hours, of snow potential for maybe a dusting up into the mountains. Nothing that is giving a winter weather advisory for the near term, and then we'll have more clouds for your Friday, on and off, on and off. So our high temperatures going forward, we have a nice little upgrade to 60 degrees, 37 on Monday, then back to either side of 60 for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, a week before Christmas. So a lot of ups and downs coming up. We'll talk a little bit more about this, where it leads in the history books, and also where it leads for our overall coldest day so far in 2025. But first, let's get over to Majestic, who's keeping an eye on the roads from the mountains to the Charlotte area.
Good morning, everyone. Let's start with some of those drive times if you are gearing up to head out the door this morning. If you're coming in from Matthews, Independence looks just about as we would expect it to look. Nothing too significant, but definitely not all green. Around 30-35 minutes to get you into Uptown. Waxhaw to Charlotte around 40 minutes. Here's my live traffic map. We have our typical delays on I-77 and I-85 there. New crash now popping up at Ray Road, impacting both directions at Old Providence Road. That orange there meaning that cars are moving rather slowly to try to get around that crash. This one's still ongoing. It's been active for over an hour at this point. Brookshire Boulevard at Honeywood Ave, both ways being impacted there, but it's not closing down any lanes at this time. Once we head down to the south just a bit, we're looking over here. It's going to be just outside of 485 off to the eastern half of it. This is at Albemarle Road, westbound lanes. This has been ongoing for a while as well. Blair Road to Rocky River Church Road. So not seeing significant delays, but you know how it goes. Might slow you down just a couple of minutes to get around it. A crash here on Clanton Road. This is a new one as well. Both ways being impacted at Pelton Street. That's just east of I-77. Those are the things that I'm watching for you right now. We'll have another chat coming up here soon.
Majestic, thanks. 8:39 right now. Online shoppers may want to be careful. Could Instacart's pricing tactics mean you're paying more than you think?
The time is now 8:41. If it feels like your paycheck isn't stretching as far as it used to, there's new data to back that up. According to the latest Employment Cost Index, workers' wages and benefits rose at its slowest pace in more than 4 years last quarter. Compensation gains slowed to 3.5% year over year, dropping to a level that hasn't been seen since 2021. Higher prices for goods and services aren't helping. With inflation factored in, wages and benefits are up just 0.5% annually. Online shoppers may want to be careful. A new report shows Instacart is using artificial intelligence to set different prices for the same items. That means some customers could end up paying as much as 20% more. Analysts say the company is testing just how much people are willing to spend before they stop buying. This isn't the usual supply and demand pricing. It's more personalized. The study found Instacart shoppers could pay about $1,200 more a year compared to others.
More Americans turning to GoFundMe to cover basic needs. A new report shows fundraisers for essentials like food and housing jumped 20% this year. The company says rising costs are making it harder for folks to keep up. Requests for help with everyday expenses have now increased for 3 years in a row. It's a clear sign of the financial strain many households are facing right now. Well, one special letter to Santa found its way to Gibsonville, North Carolina, and it's having a big impact on local families there. Out of all the toys and games that could be on the wish list, this letter from a young girl had just one request, and that was food.
Now, while she is not food insecure, snacks were on her mind while writing her letter. And the elves at the Gibsonville State Farm realized that they have a chance to help others. Sarah Sowers has this heartwarming story that inspired the community to give back.
It's something that's really just brought the community together.
Jesse Summers State Farm in downtown Gibsonville collected letters from children in the community with their wish lists for Santa, hoping to bless families with gifts and return letters by Christmas Day. But one letter stood out.
It said, hi, my name is Riley. I'm 10 years old. I've been a little bit naughty and a little bit nice this year, and my wish list for Christmas is that I would like to get food. And it just broke my heart.
After a call out to Facebook to try to locate Riley and the post going viral, Summers found Riley.
I decided to write food because when I meant by food, I like my grandparents' snacks that they make right before Christmas, and they're really good.
This simple wish for food was one that Summers realized could help so many elementary students, just like Riley, across Alamance County.
Did you think that when you wrote food on this little wish list that all of this big stuff would happen?
No, not at all.
We have been taking donations and are going to be blessing lots of kids in the local schools towards Christmas.
In just 10 days, they've amassed dozens of grocery gift cards and more than 300 pieces of canned or boxed foods, all getting packaged for delivery at local schools and the Gibsonville Library.
It makes me feel good that other people in need can get food.
Sarah Sowers with that report. Some nonprofits say donation fatigue is setting in this holiday season. Rising costs and higher prices have led to fewer contributions compared to past years.
Leaders stress the importance of adjusting strategies to keep support flowing for families in need. Many groups are creating special funds to address urgent challenges and encourage more people to give. They say continued community support is essential to help families get back on their feet.
Speaking of, only a few days left in our magical toy drive. A big thanks to everybody who's donated so far. And if you haven't, that's okay, because there is still time to donate and show support. You can bring any new unwrapped toy to a Charlotte area Belk location between now and Sunday. So you have a few days still. For more ways to donate, you can scan that QR code there on your screen. Mariah Carey's Holiday Classic is back on top of the charts this season. We show you what other classics are being listened to the most right now.
Welcome back. Here we go. 39 degrees. That's the current temperature right now in Charlotte. But meanwhile, behind me, you still have some snow flurries, but you also have a lot of snowflakes that are blowing off the roofs here. This is around Banner Elk. 26 degrees right now in Boone, and not a great drive. That's why all the schools for Watauga, Avery, and Ash currently under a remote learning today. So no drive to school for those bus stops. And then we also have 12 to 14 degrees for our wind chills right now. Yikes. And get ready. Some of those wind chills are actually going to be down into the negatives before you know it over the next few days. And right now, even though we're almost around 40 degrees, it still feels like 31. I think the windiest part of the day is really now until about noon. After that, things get a lot lighter and things get a lot better. So our low so far this morning, we only dropped down to 38 degrees. That's fantastic. That's nowhere near the top of the top for our coldest lows so far this season. 28 degrees, we did it twice. We did it back in November, late November, just the second and last day. And then December 9th, we also did it earlier this week. But what if I told you the coldest low of the year is potentially happening this coming Monday? So the coldest we've been in 2025 was January 22nd. And the day later, we are just 1 degree warmer at 19. So 18, 19, 19 have been the coldest lows that we've had so far this year, once in February. And that's the only times we dropped down the teens. Regardless, this will be the fourth time that we drop down the teens in 2025, but this looks like it could smash it. And if we have any slight wind chill with temperatures this cold, could potentially be in the single digits, and for those in the mountains, potentially dropping down into the negative values about 5 to 10 below zero. So that's going to be astronomically colder. Just keep that in mind. That is going to be an Arctic high pressure that decides to visit us, but luckily it's not going to last too long. You have temperatures warming up to 60 degrees in the short term. Lots of sunshine today, similar sunshine for your Saturday. Picking up more clouds for your Friday, and Sunday is the transitional day where our highs are actually going to be hit during the morning time. And then hour by hour, especially during the afternoon, we will see these temperatures really start to tumble, where I think that really by the end of the afternoon, our temperatures are going to be in the 30s, and we could even be down to around freezing to start off the evening. That is a jump start in our cool down. That's why we're going to get so cold down into the teens. I think at minimum, we're dropping down to 19. 16 is just the newest low that I have. And since we're starting off so cold, even with sunshine, it's going to be a struggle bus trying to get any warmer. We do see a nice little stair climb trying to get back to around 60 degrees, and this is really the beginning of a new trend that we're either side of 60 degrees Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then the Saturday before Christmas, things are heading in the right direction as well. But what if I told you the 8 to 14 day outlook is trending in a warmer direction? Now, a lot of times people want the colder air around Christmas where you're going to be staying in. It seems more seasonal. Well, Mother Nature says no, 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 contraire mon frere. Right around this time, we're averaging 53 for our high, 33 for our low. Well, it looks like we have a better chance at the 60s compared to the 50s as we conclude the time frame December 19th to the 25th. And looking at our wind chills one more time, I'm just letting you know that it is going to be astronomically colder for that Monday, but luckily it's not going to last too long. Let's get over to Majestic. It's been an up and down morning, but definitely down for the mountains.
It has been snowy. That blowing snow specifically is miserable to be in. And then when you're trying to drive in it, sometimes it makes it hard to see, especially once you're actually climbing in elevation. Right here in Boone, not too bad. We've seen lots of snow plows go by treating those roads. This is what it looks like right now on King Street. So really not off to a bad start. Here's the thing though, it does not feel good outside because it is cold up there. Meanwhile, back home right around Charlotte, still following quiet road conditions. A few accidents though. This one is a newer one, Albemarle Road at Parkton Road. Still mainly green, so we're checking that as mainly good, although they are clearing it. It's not completely cleared yet. Another crash here at Sharon Amity Road both ways at Milton Drive, seeing mixes of yellows and oranges, so minimal delays out that direction. And then here's a crash on Clanton Road, both ways being impacted at Pelton Street, I-77. We have slow-moving traffic if you're heading inbound towards Uptown. No current wrecks on I-77. However, it's just kind of what we would expect as lots of people are waking up, starting their day. And then finally, this on Brookshire Boulevard at Honeywood Ave, where we do have a crash that's impacting both directions, both inbound and outbound lanes at this time. All right, over to Larry Sprinkle.
At this Larry Sprinkle, it's December 11th and time for On This Day in History, and the subject is the Apollo moon mission. We go back to December 7th. That was the blast off from Cape Canaveral, that Saturn V rocket. The last crew to the moon included Eugene Schmidt, Ronald Evans, and Commander Eugene Cernan. And yes, the last Apollo moonwalk was on this day in the year 1972. It included Eugene Cernan and Harrison Smith from the Apollo 17. And there it is. That last Apollo moonwalk was on this day in history, December 11th, 1972. I'm Larry Sprinkle.
Thank you, Larry. 8:53 now. Ginger the elf is back. She is hanging out in our live Impact News Center this morning. Ginger, as you know, joins us every morning here on WCNC Plus as well as on WCNC Charlotte. Sometimes she's sporting holiday cheer. Sometimes she's getting into a little mischief like now, because I don't feel like she should be sitting there that close to all those important
Dangerous.
buttons. But, you know, Ginger does what she wants. Of course, we know she has other friends out there who also have, you know, thoughts of their own, and we'd love to see them. Send us a picture. Text us 704-329-3600. We want to see what they are doing.
All right, folks, the Queen of Christmas is also the queen of the Billboard charts right now. Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You is #1.
For 7 years in a row now, the iconic holiday song has made it to the top of the charts every year around this time. Now she's followed by Last Christmas by Wham. That's at #2. And Brenda Lee's Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. Yeah, that's #3. 7 Christmas songs are in this week's top 10. I can't believe I'm like trying to sing for you guys. I shouldn't do that.
I love that. It was great. Need more of that.
I like all 3 of those, but I'm not surprised that Mariah Carey's coming in as #1, as she should, because she is the queen of Christmas, and I love her.
All nostalgic
I can only
picks.
tell.
You know, I feel like it's hard for people to come up with a new popular Christmas song that like really takes off.
Agreed.
I mean, hard to believe what All I Want for Christmas came out, 30 years ago or something like that?
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, because there hasn't been really one that's stuck since.
Not really.
Yeah. You think
There's
about
been like good ones, but nothing where you're like, oh, everyone knows this song. It's so
It's
good.
not like the new theme of Christmas.
Right, it'll just be a new artist singing an old Christmas song. You're like, oh.
It's each decade. Like, we're listening to songs from like the 50s.
I know. I mean, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree with Brenda Lee, I mean, that's
been
going
around.
back.
Staying power.
And I love it, though.
Stands the test of time.
Live pictures right now over Uptown. Blue skies out there right now if you're headed out the door. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus. Live Impact News is coming up at the top of the hour with Jane Montreal.
Good morning, good morning. Check this out, Carolina Blues. We have those across the board. Now, if you're watching from the mountains, it's a different look. Mid to the upper 40s for our highs today. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Wind's a lot lighter. Not yet, though. It's really not until the afternoon they lighten up substantially, and it's still going to be wind chilly throughout the day. Our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast has a nice little upward climb back to 60 degrees on Saturday. Saturday, by the way, is my pick of the week and pick of the weekend. Sunday, the high is in the morning. We get colder throughout the day. The winds pick up. Could have a real feel in the 20s heading into the evening. That's going to lead to the coldest low of the year. 16 degrees for Charlotte and back to around 60 60 degrees on Wednesday. All right, Majestic, what do we need to know from the mountains to the Charlotte area?
It is still blustery out there in the mountains and still a little bit of snow coming down. Look at those roads. Things are cold. It is slick and icy out there. This is out there in Blowing Rock, so make sure you're driving for the conditions. Hopefully you have those sunglasses handy and a few layers if you're going to be here in Charlotte. It's beautiful, but still we have a few active crashes. Do want to let you know about our newest one here, Albemarle Road at Parkton Road. Minimal delays with that one. And then this one here on Sharon Amity Road at Milton Road. Drive safe.